Great. Good evening, everybody. So happy to be on this call. Um, we're doing a instant replay of Wellness Wednesday from last Wednesday due to some technical difficulties. And I'm just as pleased to be here with you guys tonight. Just to share a little bit about my story. My name is Beth Hooper. I'm an executive district manager with Arbonne. And I've been aware of Arbonne products and involved with Arbonne products since 2004. So I fell in love with the RE9 product 16 years ago. And it wasn't until 2017 I received an email from one of my Arbonne sisters, Fran Babishak. We were actually exchanging emails because our daughters were on the track team at Midlothian High School together, and I needed to bring water to the next track meet. And so she emailed me, and on the signature line of her email was her Arbonne signature, and it said Arbonne Health and Wellness from the inside out. So just to give you a little background on me also with regard to health and nutrition and just sort of my complete infatuation with nutrition. I went back to college in 2014. I made a pact with myself because I thought I want a passion career. I want something I really believe in. And I want to take this opportunity to learn as much as I can. And since nutrition just kind of, pardon the pun, but ran through my blood, I wanted to learn everything I could. So I went back to Purdue University in 2015, and I graduated in 2017. I took the cram course, and I got a health sciences degree in health and wellness. So I have to tell you, that kind of passion, it only takes for you to be able to focus, A, at that age, and B, making a pact to graduate college with a second undergrad by the time you're 50. I can also announce, and I'll do this without sounding like I'm at some kind of an admissions meeting, but I'm a professional dieter. I've been a professional dieter almost my entire life. That which, was going to be the case with whether it was 5 pounds, 12 pounds, or at my very worst, which was about 2 years ago, ironically. I was always infatuated with the dieting process, and I had tried every diet on the planet. So after receiving that email from Fran in 2017, and it just kind of solidifying, I'm like, Fran, you do Arbonne? Like, that's our line to one another is, you do Arbonne? And she said, do you know Arbonne? And I said, I do. I have been using Arbonne products for 16 years. And I had tried them a couple of times before 2004, but signed up as an independent consultant just to get the discount. And I said, what is this about health and wellness? I said, I literally just graduated with a health sciences degree from Purdue with specializing in health and wellness. And I see your signature tagline on this email, and I'm completely curious. So tell me more about it. And she was like, oh, Beth, if you love the skincare, you're not going to believe this. They have an entire nutrition line. So in 2017, my husband had a bilateral knee replacement. He had both of his knees replaced at the exact same time. And I also launched my Arbonne business as a consultant on December 4th of the same year. So 3.5 weeks into this, just after Christmas on the 27th, he says, we should really do the 30 days. And I'm thinking, now, after you just had major surgery? And he said, yes, I think it's really great timing. So I said, great, let's do it. So we launched it. So we did our first 30 days starting December 27th through January 27th. And he looked at me and he goes, let's go another 30 days. He had really adverse reactions to the pain medications, and he was feeling so good having done the 30-day program, he wanted to continue. So I was game. That's perfect. So we did. We continued through February and ended up continuing through March. So we did 90 days of the healthy living. And I cannot tell you, without sounding like the infamous Arbonne representative, the difference in how we felt. Overall inflammation just in his healing process, how quickly he was healing, I had had random headaches, which I typically chalked up to imbalances in hormones at my age, and just thinking, wow, there is a noticeable difference. And it was the easiest plan on the planet because all I had to do was make my shake. And they were so delicious, no one had to convince me. So there was no arm twisting. And so really interesting, in the last 3 years from having launched that, Dina knows this well. I've done this program probably a dozen times. The most current I did March, April, and May of this year. And I know before and afters are not very popular to talk about. However, I've lost a substantial amount of weight, which also equates to inflammation. And because I'm so passionate about this product line and the effect it's had on me, even personally, and sort of the paradigm shift in how I think about food, not just from my education, but have found this amazing clean product line that I use as my collateral in my health consulting business that I have on the side, of which, when the COVID stuff is over and the craziness is over, I look forward to doing some public speaking. But the amazing part of this entire program is it's so difficult to choose clean meals. And in doing so, we are hammered with the marketing of foods, and we're hammered with things that are popular, and we are feeling cravings and all of these things that typically happen biochemically in our bodies, that it's almost like an addiction to a drug. And food is one of the strongest drugs on the planet, sugar being quite at the top of the list. So how easy to find a program that implements leaving out those items or ingredients of foods that are highly inflammatory, very indigestible, and being able to have one absorbable meal a day. So something that's bioavailable, tastes delicious, takes the guesswork out of it, and you can implement this and do this every single day of your life. The other part of the irony in my life is I've spent 14 years in animal health sciences and animal health nutrition. And I can remember going into my clinics and looking at my doctors and the clients that were bringing in their pets and thinking, these people literally care more about what their pets are eating than what they feed themselves or their children. It's unbelievable to me. And in that, I also learned about bioavailability of really expensive pet nutrition. I learned about how easy it was to get. You typically, when the quality of your food is very high, you eat less, go figure, because it's absorbable. So instead of having to figure out the micros and the macros of what you need, Arbonne has just made it easy for you. And most people will say to me, I've had these conversations also, I just don't know if I can implement a shake, that frequently, every single day. This is gonna sound rehearsed, and it's gonna sound like I'm literally reading from a script, but I have to tell you, the name of my newest consulting business is Authentic Health. I say this with integrity, and I say it with so much admiration for this company that's done the research and made this so possible, that those shakes, if I go even 2 days without my shake, I am craving it. There's something missing. I always want it. It's just the strangest thing. I can even mix it up. Do I want it for breakfast? Do I want it for lunch? Would I like to replace my dinner because I don't want to do a heavy meal before I go to dinner, or have dinner at all, or go to bed? Or my husband has a really pretty strong sweet tooth. Some of the treats that you can make with the Arbonne shake protein powder, miraculous. I just made the newest recipe. It's just incredible. But just trying to be as sincere and earnest with you all as I possibly can. When I say professional dieting was my sideline, I literally had tried everything. And what I've become blatantly aware of is the fact that I created this quagmire in my own lifestyle. I created half of the problems I was having in my life because I had mixed so many different equations that none of them would have ever really worked, and all of them were temporary. The one thing that I can stand true on when I talk about the Arbonne products and the 30 days to healthy living is the fact that this is not the 4-letter word. This is not a diet. This has the ability to change the choices that you make in nutrition for the rest of your life. So when I laughingly in my consulting business talk about nutritional intervention, that's what this program does for you. You can implement it in your life in several different facets. I'm a 30-day girl. Anyone who knows me, Thomas, I see you're on the call. You can certainly raise your hand and vouch for this also. But when we talk about the status of your gut health and greater than 70% of your immune system being built in your gastrointestinal tract, if the baseline health of that system is not there, nothing you do is ever going to work. So being able to, what I lovingly say, start with a clean slate, that is the 30 days to healthy living. And if there are questions about the program, please reach out to the person who invited you to this call. I can tell you, I'm happy to answer any questions. Also, I am such a firm believer in this program. I can't say it with any more sincerity. It is the easiest choice you'll ever make. It will make an impact on your life like you've never seen before. And being able to continue it, making it sustainable as a practice is also incredibly, incredibly easy. Now, I've also implemented this program, ironically, with my 89-year-old father. I lost my mom in 2013, so that was 7 years ago. So he's been solo, and he suffered with a stroke March 18th of 2015. And that's when the mallet went down. That's when the gavel went down, and I went to him and said, Dad, I'm not in the middle of this study program. I'm not learning all this information about nutrition just to watch you make these choices and to suffer. I may not be able to choose how long you're on this earth before God takes you. However, I can certainly aid you in improving the quality of your life while you're here. So in 2018, after his stroke, he weighed 218 pounds. He's 5'8". He's a retired colonel in the United States Army. So you can understand how headstrong he must be in me trying to convince him to do things. However, his blood pressure, everything was through the roof. He was on a post-stroke. He was on 13 medications. I had a conference call virtually with his cardiologist last week, and my father's down to 1 medication. What do I attribute that to at the age of 89? Because I'm thinking, if you all think about this like I think about this at my ripe age of 53, if my dad can do this and it's made the impact to his life at 89, can you imagine the changes that it would make in your life? So down to 1 medication, his, as Dean and I were just discussing earlier, cholesterol levels. Dietarily, cholesterol plays a really different role with a lot of people, but the one common denominator always is clean eating, typically. Good fats, balanced proteins, lots of soluble fibers, all things, once again, that if you had to measure out and get the equality in each of those ingredients, it would take a lot of science, it would take a lot of math for you to figure it out based on your body composition. However, Arbonne's figured it out. They have figured it out, and they've made it so simple. So should you be weighing the option as to whether to do the 30 days to healthy living, I have to tell you, it'll be the greatest decision you ever made. It's the easiest decision you've ever made. And every time I make a shake for someone who wants to try the Arbonne products, they're all like, can this be real? Can this really taste this good? Is it really this easy? There are 57 alternative shake recipes. You would never be bored with this program, I can tell you. And the beauty is you can start at any time. We have Facebook groups that start at the beginning and middle of every single month for you to join. So please feel free to do that. Implement the shakes, try them out, see how you like them beforehand. Ask the person who's invited you to this call. I can tell you one taste, you'll completely get it. No grittiness, no minerally taste, dairy-free, soy-free, wheat-free, corn-free, gluten-free, nut-free, and you can't possibly find those ingredients in the store in order to create those meals for yourself to start that level of clean eating. So give it a try. And if you do have questions, reach out to the person that did invite you to this call and let any of us know through social media or whatnot if we can help. We're happy to answer questions. But I'm thrilled to have the privilege of having this conversation with you tonight because it really is the easiest decision that you will have ever made. Thank you so much for being on the call.